Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to another edition of MJ Everyday, a supplementation based episode for you guys. Today I'm going to be talking to you about one of my favorite recent ingredients to hit the supplementation market, and that is of course Laxogenin. So for those of you who don't know what Laxogenin is, I'm going to go through that real quick and go through a little bit on how Laxogenin works in the human body, and then I'm going to talk to you about my personal experience with Laxogenin, what I have felt anecdotally while using Laxogenin, and then what I've experienced in terms of dosing, in terms of the dosing range and the ideal dosing of Laxogenin to get the effects that I've experienced. So what is Laxogenin? For those of you who are unaware, Laxogenin is a plant extract. So it's extracted from a plant very similar to asparagus. It's not asparagus exactly, but it's the same family of plants as asparagus. And Laxogenin is actually a plant-based steroid. So it's one of a group of about 40 plant-based steroids called brasinosteroids, and they act like steroids effectively in plants. So they have a very anabolic effect on plants and increase the growth of plants. In humans, however, although they are plant-based steroids, in humans, Laxogenin does not act through hormonal pathways at all. So it doesn't affect testosterone, it doesn't affect estrogen, it's completely non-hormonal. What Laxogenin does in humans is a couple of things. It increases, firstly, protein synthesis, muscle protein synthesis through increasing nitrogen retention. It also simultaneously reduces muscle protein breakdown, and it also simultaneously inhibits cortisol, inhibits the release of cortisol. So it has this three-pronged approach that really kind of sets up an ideal environment to allow you to build muscle, maintain that muscle, while simultaneously using body fat as a source of energy through the inhibition of cortisol. Really, really cool effects in terms of what we theoretically theorize Laxogenin to do in the human body. What I have personally experienced with Laxogenin, and this is kind of what I really want to talk to you guys about, because I can talk about the theory all we want actual results with new supplementation ingredients. So I've been using Laxogenin pretty much since it first hit the market. So it would be over 12 months now as a single ingredient, as an ingredient by itself that I've kind of added to my supplementation regime. And what I've experienced with Laxogenin primarily is an increase in strength. That is the biggest thing. From when I wasn't taking Laxogenin to taking Laxogenin to then going off it to kind of see what effect it was really having when I removed it from my supplement stack to going back on it. Massive increase in strength and just ability to lift more weight is just incredible. I've never really felt a supplement have this sort of effect on me in terms of just pure strength gains. It's really, really cool. So far as the building muscle and burning fat, obviously there's a lot of different variables that happen with me depending on what phase of training I'm in, so I can't really speak to that too much. But in terms of the actual increase, like legit increase in strength, my personal opinion, absolutely phenomenal. One of the best supplements, if not the best supplement that I have taken for that effect in particular. Now, the cool thing with Laxogenin is because it's non-hormonal, there's a few things here. So you can take it whether you're male or female because it doesn't affect testosterone or estrogen. You don't have to worry about that at all. Also, because it's non-hormonal, you can stack it with, if you're a guy, a test booster or an estrogen blocker, or if you're a girl, an estrogen blocker in particular. So you can stack it with other hormonal supplements without worrying about any sort of interaction. And then finally, because it's non-hormonal, once again, it doesn't need to be cycled. So you can continuously take it, similar to BCAAs or creatine or any other type of supplement that doesn't work on your hormones or your stimulant receptors. It doesn't need to be cycled, so you can take it year round. Very, very cool supplement to include in your effectively your daily supplementation regime. In terms of dosing, now this is a big one because Laxogenin is such a new ingredient to the market. There's a lot of different information out there regarding how much of it you need to take. So I've experimented with it. As you guys can imagine, I've been taking it for over a year now. I've experimented with different dosages to try and find the sweet spot where I'm, what's the minimum I can take to get the effects on strength that I'm after without taking too much and it just kind of getting too expensive, because it is a very expensive ingredient. And what I've found, guys, and what I kind of theorize, I guess, to extrapolate my personal experience, is about 1 milligram per kilogram of lean body weight per day. That's where I've found, I think, the sweet spot for Laxogenin. So for someone like me at the moment, I'm around 100 kilos, around 10% body fat, just to make the numbers work nicely for you guys. So I'll be looking to take around 90 milligrams per day. I split that up into dosages. So on days that I train, on days that I work out, I take it in the morning. So I'll take, 45 to 50 milligrams in the morning, and then I'll take another dose of 45 to 50 milligrams before I train. On days I don't train, I've been taking the 45 to 50 milligrams in the morning, and then the second dose of 45 to 50 milligrams just before I go to bed. So I'm taking it twice per day, every single day. I take it in the morning as part of my morning supplementation regime. On days I work out, I take another dose before I train. On days that I don't work out, I take another dose just before I go to bed. And that's what I've found to be the kind of the sweet spot with Laxogenin. I think if you go more than that, it's kind of a law of diminishing returns. You're still going to get great effects. You can't really overdose on Laxogenin, but it's going to cost you a lot more. If you go below that, you're really not going to be getting the most out of Laxogenin. So that's what I think is the sweet spot. 1 milligram per kilogram of lean body weight per day, split into 2 equal doses. First thing in the morning, before you train on training days, and then before you go to bed on non-training days. Guys, that's a wrap for this episode of MJ Everyday on Laxogenin. I will say that we do have a really cool article on Laxogenin, a supplement simplified article on MassiveJoes.com that goes into a little bit more detail of everything I've discussed in this episode of MJ Everyday, and also suggests a couple of the supplements that we recommend at MassiveJoes, pure Laxogenin supplements that you guys can explore if you're interested in adding Laxogenin to your daily supplementation regime. I will pop a link to that article down below in the description box, so go click that link and check it out and give it a read. But guys, that's a wrap for today's episode of MJ Everyday on Laxogenin, one of my favorite individual supplement ingredients. As always, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to turn your post notifications on so you don't miss a beat when it comes to the MassiveJoes YouTube channel, both on your cell phone, your mobile, and your desktop PC. And guys, until tomorrow, I'm coming to you from MassiveJoes.com.